Hi, I have a story that inspired me until this day. And the story I got when I was studying with an English teacher at junior high school. At the time, I studied English with a teacher. His name was Mr. Cendikia. At the beginning of studying with him, I felt very lazy and not excited, especially English, which was difficult and complicated at the time. During his lessons, I was bored and lethargic. He then sat down beside me and thought that his job was more difficult than me. My teacher was an ordinary farmer's job. His family didn't have enough money to deliver my teacher and his brother to school. So every day, he had to travel around 5 kilometers by an old bicycle of his father's. Wow! And now, we may go to school by riding motorcycle, cars, or anything that already better than him. That is very surprised me as a student at the time. Then, back to the topic. He then studied hard and diligently to be better than his parents. His dream at the time was to be able to speak English and travel around the world. Finally, he learned English wherever and whenever. When he herding goats, he always carries a dictionary. When he go to the field, he always bring a book. His efforts are so hard. Because that, finally, he can go to college with the scholarship that he got himself. How persistent my teacher's struggle from zero was being to able to study and open his own English course. Very, very amazing. That is the small example of person change for the better. He tries to change his destiny towards a better life. There's no point in punishing yourself because of your past. Life is a journey. Well, ladies and gentlemen here, a proverb that I've ever heard is, the God will not change the condition of a nation until the nation changes its own state. Everything comes back from ourselves, comes from our habit, from the character that sticks to us and always save ourselves. Our character was built when we were little, and that is an important role in yourself. So, today, I will present to you a theme of my speech entitled, How to Change Ourselves for the Better Human. We know that no human being has never made mistakes. Everybody absolutely has. Everybody wants to be better than before. The awareness to change, improve life, is the main reason someone changes for the better. But before we start to change ourselves for the better, we need a good plan before act. Because why? Because a mature plan is the half of the battle. Imagine if you do something with a proper plan. Surely you'll be confident in doing it, also confident at the same intention. And the important is, always strong in doing it. Because no matter how good your plan is, if you don't want to do it, it will be useless. So, there are several ways that we can do to become the better human, including, the first is, start from the small things. Don't expect, if you want to make a big change, if you can make a small change. The small change can be made by starting to do small things in the daily activities. There's no need to change completely, little by little, but sure. For example, like the story of a famous singer. Maybe he used to like to sing in the bathroom. At the first, maybe he couldn't. Then little by little, he began to develop it and over time become an ability and stuck to him. Sometimes, small things can change to something more big, little by little and become a hill. And the second is, write our plan. Why we have to write our plan? That's why we always remember our goals. Oh, okay, tomorrow I will change myself. I will do this, I will do that. I will change myself for the better. And the next day, you forget the goals that you wanted to achieve. If you know, the worst writing is better than strong memorization. Even though it looks simple, writing is very important for us. You can write it on small paper on your notebook, and when you have finished, you can take your pen. That's very useful for a person who always forgetful. Writing will make us remember what we did. And then the third is, don't give up and make your environment as supervisors. The spirit of not giving up is very necessary in changing for the better. Be committed to yourself, because not everyone can pass this stage. Well, when someone has made a well-thought plan, then he fails in carrying out his task. Most of people will give up and don't want to do it anymore. But Jack Ma once said, the biggest failure is not when you fall many times, but the biggest failure is when you fall and you don't want to get up and start over. So, the failure is not the end of everything. With the failure, you learn from your mistake to rise yourself for the better again. Failure is the beginning of the success. With the key, don't give up. And the fourth is, give a gift for everything that you achieve. If you successfully complete a task or part of your plan, you can give a reward as a form of appreciation for yourself. Like the example, after doing homework, maybe you can give yourself candy or anything as a form of appreciation for yourself. Maybe this is trivial, but from that gift, your spirit will emerge and become a comfort. So, learn to respect yourself. And then the last one is always aware and always monitoring yourself. The most prolific controller is you. Remember, don't let your passion overpower your spirit. Pray more to God, because God doesn't see the result, but God sees the process. How far have you reached your target? When you want to stop it, remember your past struggle. Remember your enthusiasm at the beginning to change. Nothing is impossible as you want to try and pray. So, the conclusion is like the story of my teacher. If you want to change yourself for the better, you should study hard and work hard. Because why? Because life is not easy and free. Everything has its own cost. So, that's all my speech. I think enough. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm Muzakky and cheerio.